Hey folks, it's Tom, your Frugal Prepper. So they wanted a tune-up on this Lincoln Town car, so I went on Rock Auto and got some cheap spark plugs. Not cheap, they were actually Motorcraft Platinums. Supposed to be a genuine Motorcraft plug for this Lincoln Town car. They're not the easiest to do because you got to get down in here under this fuel rail to pull the coil packs, but it's not too hard to do. Just a little time consuming, but it came back a week or two later here. Intermittent misfire, and this is just a car they drive occasionally. Check that out right there. There's a crack in that plug. The other thing is this plug, I didn't tighten them. I didn't over tighten them in there, and it's already wearing out. This looks all oxidized. And that's discoloring on the electrode. That's this. See how that's kind of burning through on that last thread there? This is what we call a counterfeit spark plug. Now, I've gotten counterfeit O2 sensors from Amazon before and counterfeit plugs from Amazon. I haven't gotten anything counterfeit from Rock Auto, but I've heard from the comments on my videos that there are some counterfeit parts coming out on Rock Auto now. And the other thing that I'm just now noticing is this is not printed very dark at all. It's not printed very well or dark. And it says it's a platinum, but I don't think that's a platinum tip. I don't think that's a platinum tip. The platinum tip should come out to a finer point than that. And it doesn't have the blue around it like most Motorcraft plugs, but I figured maybe the platinums didn't when I got them out. But usually the Motorcraft have blue stripes around it. This up here is also discoloring, showing quite a bit of wear. This is a generic. This is a counterfeit plug, and this one failed. I mean, less than 200 miles. This failed, broke there, and started arcing to ground, causing an intermittent misfire. The computer wasn't picking up the intermittent misfire, but when you put it under a throttle load, you could feel it. And I didn't go into the misfire counters to watch them on the scan tool. It just wasn't bad enough to set a code yet, but definitely causing drivability problems. So I'm going to have to go up to like the AutoZone or the Advance and just buy a set of good plugs for this and get them replaced. And I'm going to see if I can send these back to Rock Auto. I think I've still got the original boxes over there in my trash. And I'll send these back because they are counterfeit. You can see right there, there's a dark spot too, like maybe it started arcing right there as well. Yep. So, do not buy spark plugs from Rock Auto anymore. That's the moral of the story. These Chinese imitation parts are just getting so commonplace, these counterfeit parts. And I don't know why whoever handles our imports and our regulations, they'll be like, oh, this MacBook screen's not a real MacBook screen, so you can't import it. And this scan tool's not a real scan tool, so you can't import it. But yet they'll let 300 million of these fake spark plugs. Like they're a Motorcraft plug, maybe, I don't know if they're made in the USA, but probably made in the USA, and there's 3 million of them coming on a boat from China. And they won't stop that. They just don't stop it. And they're selling this stuff and they're charging the real Motorcraft price for it. And so they're making all kinds of money. So I'm going to go up to Advance and see if I can get some real Motorcraft plugs. Hopefully they have a good source. And we'll get these all replaced and see if she starts running right again. Alright, I had to go up and get some real Motorcraft plugs. And I don't know if you can tell, this one is the real one. Look at how square that image is. Nice and square. This one is all crooked and printed off. This red is ever so slightly lighter than this red. Again, this image is off. Try this, it's completely square. And the main thing here is, look at this fake one. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a spot where the glossiness of the box ends, and then you pick up the white scanned background where they've scanned that off of a box, and this one's just glossy all the way through. So this is a scan of another box, and then they've recreated the box and put a counterfeit plug in it. So this confirms that Rock Auto is selling counterfeit parts. So if you're looking for cheap Chinesium stuff, Rock Auto is a place to get it. If you're looking for a good OEM part, probably I would stay away from them. Just like Amazon, they're selling the cheap Chinesium counterfeit parts. I had to get coppers this time because they just didn't have platinums. But these coppers are the same price as these platinums were at Rock Auto. In fact, they cost a little more from the local store. And this engine can use coppers just fine. But I just put the platinums in it before because they weren't much more expensive. But I'll put the coppers in here. They'll be just fine. And hopefully this thing will run right now. Alright, so I got the plugs in it, and I took it for a nice long test drive up hills, kicking down up hills, letting it go uphill in the higher gear, but hitting the accelerator to where it won't quite kick down, but it puts some load on the engine, slow starts, fast starts, kick downs, not on hills, you know, not redlining it or doing anything crazy, but just to see if it has any miss, and it has no miss now. It runs great. So it was definitely those plugs. It does have a bit of a cam phaser noise on the right hand side, especially when you start it after it's been sitting a while. It's tap, 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 and then it quiets down. And then you can just stick the long screwdriver up there and put it to your ear and listen. And you can hear the left side, the driver's side, is completely just silent. On that side, there's a little so yeah, it needs timing chain kit. I'm not going to do that one. It's too big of a bolt to fit in my garage, and I have to take up my wife's parking spot for days while I tear it apart, put it back together. And I'm not much of a Ford guy. I'm a GM guy. I work on Hondas, but I like GMs. So I don't know. I probably won't do it, but I think those are interference engines. Like I said, I'm not a Ford guy. I think if you lose the timing chain, it ruins the engine. But I know those engines will tap a little bit like that for a long time before they lose the chain. And I probably tell them to run 530 oil in it next to oil change instead of the 520. I've heard from a number of people that run in 530, and those will keep the timing chains alive a lot longer than the 520s will. So, my truck's got the 4.2. You know, it's not overhead cams, but you know, I've got over 500,000 miles on it, and I've always ran 530 in it. And here lately, I've just been running 1030 because it's got so many miles. It just needs I think it needs a little bit thicker of a cold oil, but you know, running the 520, Ford went to those 520s to try to extend the fuel mileage a little bit at the cost of engine wear. So, yep, it's ready to go. It's out of here. My customer I had lined up for tomorrow called, canceled. Car's making a noise when they turn in the back. And they said, oh, the noise went away. We're going to go ahead and cancel. It's probably like a bad brake pad getting low. And now it's quit, and it'll start again, and they'll probably just drive it till they need rotors and everything. But, you know, what can you do? You just have to let people decide if they want their cars worked on or not. You know, I'd rather have the day off tomorrow to garden and do yard work, so I'm fine with it. And I got a radio to put in my Honda. They keep making these cheap Chinese radios they have on Amazon are just junk. I finally went to Crutchfield and just bought a Sony that was made in Japan. That'll work. Like the Chinese ones, one of them doesn't get AM, it only gets FM. And then the FM that it gets, it all comes in staticky. Like radio stations I get on the factory radio, perfectly clear, are all staticky on that one. Just every one of them. I got 3 different ones. They all have problems. They're all junk. They just sell cheap crap on Amazon. They don't even attempt to make it work. They're just dumping junk out there, hoping that enough people don't send it back that they can still make a profit. So I went with the Sony that's made in Japan. That should be a nice stereo for it, and it'll be all good. So anyway, this is Tom, your Frugal Prepper. I'll talk to y'all later.